Welcome back to A Grim Life, and I am here at Riverfront Park in Millersburg, Pennsylvania with the Millersburg Ferries. We're going to look straight up north here, zoom in a bit, and this is where the ferries normally are docked during summer operations, but today they're down here on the other side of the ferry wall ready to be dry docked. And we're going to take a look at that process today, get some footage. We're going to turn around here before we head out to the intro, and we're going to be right back, folks. All right. So we're going to start things off here with a little overview of what's going on here. You notice this skid loader, forklift, whatever you want to call it, with a couple of tubes. What we're going to do is bring them up here to the path. You can see a little track that's been laid down with slats of wood. I'm going to put those out over, and this tow truck that's pulling up here is going to hook up to the ferry and drag it basically up out of the water over those rollers. So if you ever saw pictures in school of when the pyramids and stuff were being built and they had the rollers bringing the big blocks over, that's kind of what's happening here. So they're going to use those rollers to help things out, to pull it out of the water here. So we're just in the setup phase here, and we'll talk here just a little bit after some brief timeouts. Okay, you can see here we got a lot of activity going on down here by the actual ferry, where they're getting the tow lines all set up here, and you can see the little rollers there all set and ready to go. We have someone over here pointing. There's a truck down to the north, or up to the north here, that's got a line out to the front, or actually the rear of the boat where the paddle wheel is. That's going to be able to keep position of the boat as it's being pulled straight out, current of the water and everything. So that's what's happening here. There's a little commotion and activity as they get ready to pull out. Did a little time lapse just before this clip, just to kind of give an overview. My whole plan was to do nothing but a time lapse, but with just the time involved and the number of people milling about, it just didn't turn out so great. Then it was really cold out. The wind was very high. It was gusting probably 25-30 miles an hour at this point in time down there. You can see it going right here. So that's what's going on right here. We'll be back in a little bit to describe some more what's happening. And here we go. We're starting to pull the ferry out of the water. It's a slow process. It's not super slow, but it's slow enough. Got to make sure there's no damage being done to the boat itself, as well as the tow line and all that sort of thing. And you'll see there's lots of people down here motioning, communicating back and forth, when it's good to pull, when it's not good, if any adjustments need to be made as far as its straightness and everything. So you'll see that. You see the rollers getting moved here as the boat gets a little further up the incline here off the water as it moves up on shore. Alright, as we almost have the first part of the ferry up on shore, we have some items right here. If you're familiar, it's some air cylinders. And it's not oxygen, it's air, so it's just compressed regular air that you breathe. And there were some flat square things there. Those are called airbags if you're not familiar. And what we're going to end up doing is blocking the ferry boat and then using those bags to lift it up to get what we call cribbing or blocks up underneath there to keep it up off the ground, because this area does occasionally flood if we do get a lot of water, especially in the early springtime. So we just keep it protected. And here you can see they're getting prepared for that operation. There's one of the airbags right there. You'll have some hoses that'll go from the compressed air cylinders into those airbags. They'll puff up and they can lift quite a lot of weight with that small bag that you see there. Alright, at this point you can see them using a bottle jack to jack the boat up. It's in position to where they want it, so we'll jack this up. They'll put some of that blocking underneath and just to get it started, and then they'll use those airbags to complete the lifting process, because those bottle jacks only go up so far, obviously. So they'll use the airbags to increase that lift. And while they're jacking the ferry up and getting the airbags in position, another crew is here working on the barge and bringing that up on shore. And this is the part where cars would be able to drive up on and take the ride across the river. So they disconnect the barge from the boat to make it a lot easier to get it up onto shore. And here you can see the airbag operation in process. Got all the hoses hooked up to the bags. You can see the bags are pretty well inflated right here. And they're working on the blocking next to it. So they'll incrementally raise that up and get it blocked and secured for the winter, dry dock until the next spring comes along. So that's pretty much how it goes with the dry docking process. I didn't show the other boat, the Roaring Bull. This is the Falcon. It's just the same process repeated over itself, and it was really cold and really windy, and I'd had about enough of that today. So that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed this look into how we dry dock the ferry boats in Millersburg, and hope you come back and join us again for the next video. So thanks again. Stay tuned for more, and have a great day. Bye-bye.